minute. Hold on. Let me put this over here. Sports shoes. I can leave my sports shoes over here. No problem. Got these brand new sports shoes when I'm going to the gym. I also need to work out from time to time. That also needs to happen. Okay. So if you are a little patient here, I can put this on here. Okay. So let me see. Okay, there's enough battery on the mobile phone. And I'm using Wi-Fi now, so it shouldn't cause any issues. So let me check how this goes. Yes. Maybe more light. Okay. Let me see. Nah, oh, it kind of just feels dark. Let me put the curtains a little bit more. Okay. Okay, that should be good for now. Thanks for being here. If you're here, please let me know in the live chat. It's very important. I'm gathering the stuff needed to work on the whiteboards, because we're going to use the whiteboard today for this class. Hold on. Yes, got the eraser over here. Hold on. Ah, here we are. Oh. I got it. Thanks for the thumbs up, whoever gave it. Again, if you're here, let me know in the live chat, please. Okay, Robert is here. Wonderfully Made is here also. Praise the Lord. So I think we need to get this a bit closer. So, I think it's fine for now. Okay, can you hear me clearly? Let me know in the live chat. Can you hear me clearly from this distance? Because this is very important. Good evening also. IPV is here. Chippy Sweet is here. Oh, you all can hear me clearly? Okay, that's good. I'm gonna wait 2 more minutes before I begin. When I'm at the 4.5 minute mark, so 2 more minutes. So get your pen and paper, make yourself comfortable. Okay. It's Mir's here, Amber is here. That's good. Chippy Sweet's here also. Thanks for the other thumbs up, whoever gave it. I can use natural daylight right now, so that's why I thought let's make a live stream right away. Okay. Let's see if I have 4.5 minute mark. Not yet. So let's 1 minute to go. All right. Again, I'm not using StreamYard now because I'm not sure how this will look on StreamYard, and I want you to get the best resolution possible. So you can also read what's on the whiteboard. So yes, the topic of today, block party, it's not a new topic, but I'm going to expand on it using whiteboards to illustrate it to you. All right, let's see. Hello, Amber. Miss Mears here too. Okay, so we still have a half minute to go before I begin. I have 4 thumbs up, thank you very much. Praise the Lord. Okay, let's try to get a little bit closer. Get a bit closer with this. So I should get a full and good view of what I'm writing here on the whiteboard. All right. It's 4.5 minute mark, so I'm starting right now. Thank you all for being here. I'm Ari Dasset, or as you know me, Rashid, and I'm going to talk about block parties. Now, what's a block? The ancient Romans used to divide their cities into blocks. Some blocks were small, some were bigger. And then you had the city wall around here. That's how the Roman cities, which were called, hold on, let me use the eraser. Well, those were called urbs. That's where we get the word urban from. Urbs. Urbs. That's where we get the English word urban. Refers to a city area. Okay? So, in Roman cities, each section was divided in a block, in a square. And that's how they divided all their cities, so that there would be a standard pattern how cities were constructed. Now, they were not all shaped like a square. Some cities were shaped like stars. But even if they were shaped like stars, there were still blocks in them. And this design of blocks has been taken over by the medieval kings of Spain and Portugal. And in the colonial era, in the Portuguese and Spanish empires, they constructed such towns and cities all over the Americas and in their colonies. For example, if you go to Latin America today, cities are still built in blocks, but in a modern way. Also in the United States, where you have neighborhoods, you have the block. So calling an area a block is something that's common in the Americas and also in Spain and Portugal in the Mediterranean area. And from time to time, people from the same block, a block would be around, sometimes a block would be around 200 meters. It would be like 200 meters here, and then above. Sometimes it would be 100 meters. It wouldn't be a mile, that would be too big. But anyway, in the Americas, often it happens that people from the same block have a party together, a neighborhood party. We will come and get to know one another. And such a party is called a neighborhood party or a block party. But the word block can also be a verb in English. It means to block. It means to hinder something. Because remember, cities in ancient times used to have walls. And those walls were built with rocks and blocks of where it was, I'm not sure it was concrete, but you had blocks of all types of materials used for it. So to block something would mean that you put a barrier between you and it, so it wouldn't be able to come close. That is to block something. So a block can be a neighborhood, but also can mean just to hinder something. So the title of this live stream is Block Party. Okay? So when we're not talking about a neighborhood party, we are talking about when the Holy Spirit puts an end to a relationship or to an event in your life. So before we continue, I need to show you something. We already know about the human energy field and our energy sense. I already explained it in the last live stream. But I want you to imagine the following scenario, okay? Okay. You know what I'll get with this very soon, so wait. Okay, what are these circles over here? These circles are energy fields of humans. Okay? So, in each circle there's one individual. Those are individual human beings. Okay? All their energy fields. So, then we have red here, and we have blue. Just hold on, we'll get to it. The red is negative energy. I'm going to call it waste energy. or energetic, whichever you prefer. And this is, and the blue is positive energy. So this on the frequency of fear, negative energy, and others on the frequency of love or confidence. Now we're going to color it. Wait for it. I'll explain why very soon. Okay. So as you can see here, most of those people there are negatively charged. Okay, let me get closer here for you. Let's say there's one here who's positively charged, okay? So one positively charged has an influence. But then you also have this hate, this mist of negative energy all around. Okay. Good. So let me see if I can zoom in to make this closer for you. Hold on, no. This. I need to make this bigger, yes. Okay. Now, when you look at these things, what is the, tell me a few problems over here. Let me know in the live chat. There's a big conflict over here. Just tell me what the conflict is in the live chat. I want all of you to answer. What's the conflict right over here? I'll give you 1 minute to answer. Tell me. What is the conflict over here? I have my PC right over here also, so I can check your answers too. But let me check what the answers are. Hold on. What is the conflict? You need a minute more? Hold on. All right. Danielle says, surrounded by negative energy. Okay. Chip, he says, only one positive energy. Okay. So that's what you observe. You observe there's only one individual who has positive energy coming out, and the rest is negative energy. But, and then someone else says, once there's too much red, one blue, everybody's watching. It's rich as a blockade. Aha, that's where I'm going with you. That's where I'm going. Praise the Lord. So what you see here, you have one individual. Let's say this is, somewhere in a cafe. Or maybe not at the cafe, it can also be at the bus stop. Let's say in a small location, you have all these people together and only one is possibly charged. Now, the conflict is all these people here are yoked together. You are negatively yoked with one another. Okay? So, those people don't know one another. This may be a businessman, okay, that works for Philips. This may be a hooker who just had a customer. This may be a high school girl who is envious because someone else stole her boyfriend. This may be a guy who's suicidal. This may be a pastor who's secretly raping children. They all have their backgrounds. Those people are not emotionally involved with one another. So they're not friends, they may not be colleagues, they may be complete strangers coming together. But they're all negatively yoked because they all operate in darkness. Okay? this one over here, let's say it's a guy, this guy over here is now blocked by the negativity of those people. So let me point this out. This individual is blocked by negative charges. All right? So this is the situation right over here. This guy over here is weighted down by the weight of the crowd around him. So together they're blocking his positive influence. Now he still has an influence on the people over there. Okay? It still affects them here and there. But at some point, these people are going to feel invaded by this guy, while the guy, or maybe woman, this individual is doing anything. Why? Because the positive charges are more intense than the negative charges. Because again, let me just illustrate it somewhere else. Let's say this guy has a positive emission, and the positive emission is suppressing negative emissions. So what's going to happen? The people around here are going to feel oppressed or depressed by this guy. But this guy, or this woman is not doing anything wrong. And if you have a lot of negative charges around, they together are ganging up against the one that's positively charged. All right? And this situation is quite common. That the one that's positively charged is ganged up by people all negatively charged. All those people around there, whether they like one another or not, whether they have each other on Facebook or not, they don't even have to actually be involved with one another. They're all negatively yoked. And this individual is trapped by their negative yoke. Okay? So, what should this individual do? Let me know in the live chat. What does that individual that's possibly charged need to do? I'll wait for your answers. Someone says get away from them. Okay, what does the rest say? Meanwhile, when someone says live in an area without trouble, but this is not possible in this world, he's willing to distance himself or herself from them, but still be flexible and practical. A man is the one in blue with a certain amount of energy. Becky says the illustration makes so much sense because it explains why the believer doesn't have to know them personally. This person must take authority by faith and prayers. Once is hides through understanding and mentality. Okay, let's go to another illustration right over here. It's going to be a bit similar but different. So again, these are all energy fields over here. But this is a game changer. Give all this over here. And then you have, here you have the one that's possibly charged. And then, hold on. These are all negatively charged. Hold on. Okay. And here you also have a few more negatively charged in here. Can someone tell me what just happened over here? There's the one that's possibly charged. There are negative charged people all over the place, but what happened here? Okay? I'll give you 2 minutes to answer. Just check it and let me know what you think. I'm going to answer it in 2 minutes. What happened over here? I'll wait for the answers. Well, it's not believers together because only one is positively charged. All the others are negatively charged. Some says infiltration equally yoked. Cheap seats look like it's a standoff. Some said it was separate, like attract like. Well, Danielle says that positively charged ones are dissolving the negatively charged. Okay. I got a lot of answers already, so let me explain it. This believer here, who walks by faith, this believer has sent peace ahead. Okay? So, this here is the stream of peace. This is a stream of peace that's sent ahead by the believer. And what you see over here, inside here, is a clash. It's a shut down. Okay? So let me go over here so you can see better. And here is the clogging of negativity. Okay. Now, let me check over here. So what happened? Let's look at the two. Okay, let me zoom out. Let's look at those two situations right now, okay? Can you see it well? Okay. Here you have a situation where a believer is surrounded by those negatively charged. And as you can see here, the influence of the believer is hindered by the negative yoke they have together. In this situation, the believer is ahead of the situation. The belief sent peace ahead to this location where he or she wants to come. And look at this. The stream of positivity has shut down much of the negative emissions of the people. But some of the people there they felt the shutdown, and now they're angry, they're upset. But they don't know why they're angry or upset, because they feel denied. So the people that are the most open for positivity, they will benefit from the peace that is sent at. Then you have people who are doubting. That's where the clash happens. And then you have people who are invested in activity, they will explode, they will become angry. So by sending peace ahead of you, you both keep safety around you as not to expose the evildoers. Alright? So, okay, let me write this down also. Energy fields of humans. So, hold on. I'm going to put this in the laundry anyway, so this is positive, and this here is Question. Which of the two do you prefer? This one, let's call this situation A, or do you prefer situation B? Which one do you prefer? Let me know in the live chat and tell me why you prefer which one. Let me know. All right. Multiple people are saying situation B. Okay. Can you explain why, briefly, why you prefer situation B? Okay, let me know in live chat right away. Why do you prefer situation B above situation A? I'll wait 1.5 minutes for your answers, then I'll continue with the class. It's me. Are you saying you prefer situation A? Maybe you chose situation B. Now the reason, situation A is a situation most believers end up in because they don't know any better. In situation A, you are oppressed by the weight of the crowd around you. In situation B, you are the one in charge of the situation. You're not in charge in the sense that you are bossing around all the people. No, you are in charge because energetically you are safe and you enforce safety. Okay? So situation B is a situation we should have all the time, every day. Situation A is a situation you should never end up in, ever. Now, again, this live stream is called Block Party, okay? Now, in this situation over here, the believer has sent peace ahead and the believer is in charge of the situation. And because of that, a lot of negativity cannot just happen, okay? Here, you're overwhelmed by negative energy. There, you're shut down negative energy. And because of that, you are able to be in touch with people who are relatively safe. Now, all these other people are negatively charged, but those that are at least safer to be around, you can have them around you. So this is the easiest way to shut down evildoers. Now, but what if there's a future escalation about to happen? It's not a situation right now. Okay, let me draw another scenario for you over here, which is separate from all the others. Okay, let's say this is you, okay? This is you, this is your energy field, and this is your environment, 20 kilometers. 20 kilometers. So together, this is 40 kilometers. So 20 kilometers at each side from you, on land. That is what we call the direct sphere of impact. Okay? Now, why is this a direct sphere of impact? Because anyone within this radius, okay, let me show it down so you can see it better. Anyone within this 40 kilometer circle around you, they can affect you directly. Outside of it, it's going to be slower. When it comes to negativity, let's say that 5 kilometers from here, there are 5 people meditating negatively about you. The sight of violence comes to you quite quickly. Maybe 90 kilometers from here, there are a group of people also meditating negatively, and it may affect you within several seconds. Beyond 20 kilometers from you, it may take longer for the negative energy comes because negative energy is quite heavy, and that's why it travels slower. Positive energy is quite fast and also instant. So, when it comes to negative energy travels in a slow speed. That's why negative energy only affects you directly within a few seconds, within 20 kilometers away from you. All right? But if it's positivity, someone can be 1,000 kilometers away from you, and the positive impact will affect you directly. So positive energy can be sent to you from all the places of the earth, will affect you directly. Okay? Because it's like this. Let me show this to you. This is the sea. This is land. Here, let's say you have a city. Let's say New York City. Okay? These are the clouds, all of that. And you have this is the electromagnetic field of the earth realm. It covers the whole earth. Okay? And the electromagnetic field of the earth, all of us are connected to it. So a human being is connected to the electromagnetic field, and they're linked to other people. So when it comes to other energy creatures, you're linked to them if you have direct involvement. So linked is between humans, and it comes through direct involvement that requires a lot of emotional exchanges. So let me go down. When you are directly involved with someone and there's a lot of emotional exchange over there, you get linked to someone energetically. Okay? So let's say this is you. It's your energy field. It's not individual over there, but the energy field. And if there's a lot of emotional exchange, you both develop this invisible connection to one another. Let's say you're positively charged, the other individual too. That means it's a bond of positivity. You get me? Now, let me go down to show it better to you. Okay. Can you all see this? All right. Let me see if you can see it clearly. Yes. Okay. So let me finish this. However, if it's two worldlings, we're not operating in righteousness, that are emotionally linked to one another, what you then get, you're going to get a connection of negative flows. If you're both negatively charged. But if it's let me show you. If it's a believer with an unbeliever, it goes like this. So individual, positive charge. This one is negatively charged. Then the connection is still there, but it's going to be a messed up situation because you're going to have a low vibration affecting you over here, and from you, there's a deep, overwhelming impact on the other individual. So this one is unequal. Okay? This one here is semi-equal. As I said, because if this individual has more negative charge than that one's automatically dominant. But here, the one that's totally equal is the one between believers. Okay, hold on, let me, yes, this one is equal. All right, so what you see here is when two believers walk by faith are linked, there's an equal charge between the two. When two unbelievers are linked, there's a semi-equal charge between them on a low frequency of fear. If a believer is linked to an unbeliever, now this is possible, but it will be unequal. The believer will be on top of the unbeliever. And at the same time, the weight of the unbeliever can weigh down the believer. So this is unequally yoked. Hold on. This situation here is unequally yoked. Okay? So let's go up a little bit. Okay, you know what? Let me put this back up. You all can see it now? Yes. So, what you see here is as follows. The electromagnetic field of the earth covers the whole earth. We're all connected to it because we're all on the earth. As energy creatures, we're all connected to it. But when it comes to other human beings, you're not automatically connected to all human beings on the earth. You can become linked to them through direct involvement that contains a lot of emotional exchanges between the two of you. When it comes to sexual intercourse, sexual intercourse is always emotionally charged. So with sexual intercourse, you have a connection established immediately. Now, these is what they call soul ties. Those are energy connections between you and other people. Now, those can be broken down through prayer and fasting. So that's the good news. Okay? Now, hold on. Let me check if people ask questions already. So, now that you all see this, do you understand now why it's dangerous to be unequally yoked with unbelievers? All right? Now look, you can, it's not that a soul type in unbeliever is automatically evil. However, over time, if the unbeliever does not become a believer, or if the unbeliever becomes worse, it's going to be a weight on you. Now, that's why you have the social network linked in. Because once you are emotionally involved with other people, you're linked together with them. Now let's go to another illustration now. Okay? Now we're going to this side of the whiteboard. And I hope you can all see it clearly. Let's say now, I'm going to draw the United States. I'm not going to, okay, it's going to be a very quick drawing. This is supposed to be the United States of America. Here you have the Great Lakes, here over here, the Mississippi, that divides it all. Okay, let's say now that let's say you have okay, give an example here. Let's say these are all hotspots of contention. Okay? And then you have here and there okay, you'll see what I'm doing soon. Okay, going to get this down for you. Who can tell me what I've just done over here? I'm going to check if you pick it up. What do you see here illustrated? Let me know. I'll give you 2 minutes to answer. Hold on. So, what is illustrated over here? What do you think it is? It means that strongholds, traps. What does the rest say? Okay, I'm still waiting for answers. What does the rest say? This is. Some says major cities dotted in red, but okay, that's not really what it has towards. 2 more minutes and I'll reveal it. I just want I want you to use your imagination and your intellect too, because by having involved in the live stream, you will pick things up much better. That's why I'm doing this. This is a class, remember? So, okay, 2 minutes. Go stay quiet. Let me know what you think it is. Okay. I got here some good stuff over here. Small section of believers and large pocket of non-believers. When it goes to narcissistic people in blue, no. You got the map wrong. Because the people in blue are the positive ones. Okay, but still good. Good you thought about this. Aver says an area marked out with spots where there are negative vibrations and spots with positive vibrations. Danielle says negativity seems like it's spreading since there are different sizes. Okay. Now, remember what I said, okay? Negative energy travels at a slow speed. So negative energy tends to linger around. So when you have a lot of unbelievers who remain in darkness, that negative tension lingers around in an area. And it's like a cancerous disease. It begins to grow and form in that area. So let me use another way to say it. And let me use another small illustration down here. Let's say you have a house over here, okay? A house. And people in the house operate in the negative. At some point, the negativity is going to grow and grow and grow. This is the first year, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year, sixth year. So the negativity begins to grow and foam, and it's getting heavy on the house. If this happens in the whole area, you will have killing energy in an area. And in a killing energy, it will be psychotic escalations in the public. Okay? And that's why the society needs scapegoats to discharge this killing energy upon. Because if the killing energy is not discharged, it's going to escalate on the whole area. So these are cancerous hotspots of negative energy all over the place. But then you have individual believers spread all over the place. Some are living within those red areas, some are outside of it. Now understand this. If you are a believer and you live outside the hotspot of cancerous negativity, things will work out smoother for you. If you live nearby or within one of those cancerous hotspots of negativity, you will have to go through extra spiritual warfare to get things done in daily life. Because the demons depend on the killing energy that foams around in those areas. And that's why the devil worshippers, were often politicians, need to keep negativity and pain in the community so that the killing energy remains. So for example, if you live in San Francisco, you may have to fast for like 2, 3, or 4 weeks to get some financial miracle. But if you live, for example, somewhere near the Great Lakes, where there's a the hotspot of negativity is much less, what will happen is that maybe you have to pray only 2 days or 3 days for a financial miracle to work out. Why? Because it's less resistance over there. Close to cancer's hotspots negativity, you will go through extra spiritual warfare. Okay, so those are things to remember. And here's the thing. When believers, because believers are linked together, when believers together unite their forces, they can dissolve some of those cancerous tumors on the earth. So, the only way those cancerous tumors will reduce, there are 2 options. Either the population dies by killing off one another, and it may take 100 or 200 years for the tension is dissolved, because it may take a while, or this is God's way, the believers walk by faith and peace out of them, and slowly but slowly the cancer tumors are reduced. All right. Let me see if I see any questions over here. Okay, do you have any questions about this till now? Okay? If you have any questions about this now, ask me. I'll sit right there behind my screen and I can answer the question. You can hear me speaking loud in the microphone. So, are there any questions about all of this? Okay? Let me know now. Iceman asked how we send positive energy at. You decree and declare it. If you're about to go to the supermarket, whether it's the Walmart or the Walgreens or whatever, you decree it. I decree and command peace ahead of me in Walmart, where I'm going now, in Christ's mighty name. Or you can say, I command all cancerous tensions to dissolve in Walgreens right over there when I arrive, in Christ's mighty name. So you decree and enforce the peace and healing ahead of you. That's what you do. If you are alone as a believer, you do the same thing, and you also reach out to other believers who live in a distance, because remember, positive energy travels very quickly, almost instantly. Negative energy clogs around and becomes cancerous because it's quite heavy and travels at a low speed. Okay? So if you live, let's say you live in Rotterdam, in the Netherlands, for example, where I am at the moment, and you feel that there's this tense climate of death hanging around. And by the way, Thanatos, that fallen angel, was the bailiff of the paranormal. I saw him once in the Dutch metro, when I was in the metro traveling towards the south of Rotterdam. That entity kind of stared at me, and I was thinking, what the F are you looking, faggot? But the entity left. Okay, and so you know, that thing they call the Grim Reaper is a fallen angel called Thanatos. It's a real dangerous entity of which even many demons are afraid. But hey, I have no fear of fear. So let's say now you're in Rotterdam and you sense this murderous heavy tension. Now two things can happen. Either they find scapegoats to unload upon, and the things are discharged for a little bit, or they have no scapegoats and everything, people end up escalating one another in madness. Okay? But what the Heavenly Father wants us to do is to rain peace from the sky on the city. Now there was one time we were fellowshipping with believers on a Facebook video call. And we felt that there was this weird tension around this believer who was in Canada. And those who had spiritual discernment could even see several demons flying around in the background when the believer in Canada was talking on the screen. He was walking outside. So we told the believer, dude, there are two demons flying around over there. Just dissolve the tension. The believer began to decree and declare fiercely right over there. And I'm telling you, man, it is as if a layer of fire fell down from the sky and the demons just flew away immediately, and it was peaceful afterwards. So we as saints, we can cause positive spiritual fire to come down in an area and dissolve all the cancerous negativity that goes on over there. That does not mean that everyone is going to become born again afterwards, or that everything is going to be peaceful amongst those people, because they need to become born again and renewed inner mind. But we are able to shut down a lot of the violence on the earth. All right? So, we as saints, we can be on top of what goes on in our communities. And we should. But many are not, because they don't realize the leverage they have as believers. Now, I'm not saying that there won't be any negativity on the earth anymore once we are on top of our power, but the negativity will be scarce, and negativity will be, in a dying state. Right now, a lot of negativity is just foaming around like a disease, unchallenged. this should not be the case. We believers should be the ones enforcing healing and shutting down the disease of negativity that afflicts our species. And for that to happen, we need to know who we are, what we are, and how we ought to operate. All right? So, are there any more questions over here? Let me see. The olive grove enforce health on her or him and command health to take over his mind and his body and command every disease to flee from him. You can even mention the disease by name, command him to flee from him or from her. All right? Also, do energetic inquiries to figure out what the root is that causes the thing to manifest. All right? And remember, it's Holy Spirit that decides how the power works out. So don't think, oh, what if nothing happens? No, that shouldn't be on your mind. God determines how the power works out because it's His power that you operate in, not your own. Hey, Maria, those drug cartels, oh Lord. I have to draw something else for you to show you, because I'm going to show you how criminal cartels and drug cartels take a hold on communities. It is effective, olive grove. However, if the Holy Spirit realizes, okay, this may not be better for this individual to receive this blessing, the individual not to receive it. In any case, it's Holy Spirit deciding how the power will flow eventually, but you have to do your part. You get me? It's always effective, but will they benefit from it or will they abuse it? That's the question. But that's another topic. I'm going to show you now how drug cartels, as well as various other criminal groups, are keeping communities in a grip. So, okay. Okay, you all see me? Okay, that's good. Okay. This is a city, so mountain range. It's the ocean or sea. All right. Okay, you all see it till now. All right. You know what? Let me make it bigger for you. So, okay. So, this is the sea or ocean, the mountain range. This here is a river. There are cities. These are the clouds. I'm getting somewhere with this. Just hold on for a moment, things. All right. Okay, all see it. See if I have any questions here. Okay. So let's say now in this city over here, there's a lot of negative waste growing. The negative waste also goes up into the sky. And here, you have these are the, you know what? Let me do this differently. These are the demonic strongholds. All right? And this is how demonic stronghold looks like. You have the strong man on the top, a fallen angel, and you have this whole slave structure of other fallen angels. Okay, I'll do this very quickly for you guys. Maybe 6,000 till 10,000, maybe sometimes 20,000 fallen angels that become the throne for the strong man. And this is powered by negative emissions from the public. All right. Let's see if any questions here. So, here you have the cities and villages over here. Negatively, phones goes into the sky. And in the sky, you have demons floating around. And above the demons, you have the strongholds. All right? So, what pagans do, you know what? Let me put this on. All right. What pagans do is they go to temples in mountainous areas or maybe somewhere near a river. And what they do is they download strength, quote unquote, strength from the demons in the sky. And it's this strength that they use for charms. All right? Or they can do it over here also. They are downloading strength from the demons floating around. The demons don't have any strength other than themselves. They literally eat the negative emissions of the public, and they become powerful over here. And on top of that, you have the strongholds wood there, like pyramid-shaped structures floating around. And then on top of them, you have the overlords. All right? You read about when Ephesians chapter 6. Ephesians chapter 6, you read about this also. So this is a spiritual wickedness in high places, right over here. The powers are the power centers that pagans use to withdraw strength from the demons. And that's how many corporations, many criminal organizations, drug cartels, pedophile rings, and many of such occult groups, that's how they can get a grip over the public. Do you follow me now? So as a believer, what can you do about this construction? Let me know in the live chat. Tell me what you can do about it. based on what I've taught before earlier in the live stream, what can we, or what can an individual believer or we collective as believers do about this? Yes, just like Chuba is saying, the moment, let's say this is Chuba living right over here in San Francisco, okay? And Chuba sends missiles into the demonic realm. Eventually, the power supply for the pagans are shut down. Those are positive energy, the missiles. By sending missiles into the atmosphere, you literally, oh Lord. Okay, let me tell you. So these are the missiles that are sent by your prayers, decrees, and declarations. And here's the impact. This strong man, look at this. The whole pyramid of fallen angels together is falling apart. The strong man's over here, and it's falling apart. This is what you do. And when those strongholds are assaulted, the flow of strength towards the magnetic portals that the pagans built is done away with, and the drug cartels, criminal organizations, as well as the corrupt governments have less strength to cause harm on the earth. All right, so this is a cycle. Okay, this is how the cycle goes. The public emits fear or negativity. It foams in the air. Demons live, quote unquote, in it. Pagans download the strength of the demons. That causes stress for the public, and then this is how the cycle goes. This how it's kept alive. So the public is in fear because they need to pay rent or they need to pay bills. People are stressed out about it. The negativity foams around. It also goes around in the atmosphere. And then demons begin to live in it. They even form those structures. And then once the demons have eaten and processed the foods of negative energy, once they've eaten the waste, it makes them powerful, and now pagans download the strength from the demons in their temples or their structures, and then they use this strength over the public to keep a negative economy around. And that's how poverty and sickness remains on the earth. This is the cycle of poverty and sickness. Okay, I maybe I should write bigger. Well, okay. Cycle of poverty plus sickness. All right. So, do you follow this now about the cycle? And do you know now how to shut down drug cartels, how to shut down corrupt governments and all of that? Because all of them make use of those magnetic portals to download strength from demons in the skies. Some that those lives in countries near the sea, they go to marine spirits. Marine spirits are those entities that are wandering around the oceans. So then you have a sea lodge over here, and they go and they download it from here. Now, this is much quicker because the marine spirits, they feed off of tragedies at sea. You get me? So, yes. And because water is quite dense, negative tension can be stored better over here than in this situation. So because the thick density of the ocean and seawater can keep negative tension stored much better, that's why some people go to sea lodges. This is marine witchcraft. Okay? Now, do you understand what marine witchcraft or marine black magic is? Let me know in the live chat. Okay? I'm there at my screen. You can ask your questions. So, do you see now how fragile Satan's insane asylum is? Okay? There is no kingdom of darkness. It doesn't exist. All right? And don't forget, the reason why you have those strongholds with strongmen in it is to protect the overlords from the common demons floating in the air. Now, there are demons on the ground, absolutely, but a lot of them are floating in the air. Because this all, okay, I'll explain this also. Let me put it over here. So these are some clouds over here. It's an airplane flying, not airplane over here. There's some clouds. And here, you have demons just floating around in the sky. All right. Then above, higher, you have the stronghold floating around. And each stronghold is there to protect an overlord or the overlords. The overlord is a fallen angelic king, and he has militias for his protection. Why? To protect him from the crowd of demons. All right? So, the overlord is protected by the militias, or the legions, as you can call them, legions, strongholds, however you want to call them. They protect the overlords from the crowd. So let's say now that above, let's say that above the state of New York, for example, there are, let me think of a number. There are 400,000 demons, fallen angels in the sky. Let's say there are 400,000 of them floating around. Then you may have, no, this is a little bit too few. Let's say you have 4 million demons floating around in the northeast of the United States. Let's say 4 million demons, okay? And I have a few overlords. Let's say each overlord has 10 legions. That's 100,000. And let's say, how many states does the United States have in the Northwest? Okay, let me check it out first. Okay, so let's say now the northeast of the United States has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you have 11 strongmen. So together it's 11 overlords, and you have 1 million armed fallen angels. We have to protect him from the 4 million that are floating around over there. And then on the ground, you may have like 10 million Nephilim spirits. Nephilim are those hybrids who, after they pass away, their bodies perish but they linger around. The Nephilim are very low ranking creatures. Okay? So you have 10 million Nephilim near the ground. In the sky, you have around 4 million fallen angels floating around over there, which are the public. You have 11 strong men, because you have 11 US states in the northeast. And you have 1.1 million armed fallen angels who are protecting those 11 those 11 overlords. So the demonic realm is always at a fight with itself. This is just an example I'm showing you. Okay? And from time to time, some of the militias come down to keep the Nephilim in check also. So, very simple. There is no kingdom of darkness because they are far from united. And demons are very well armed to fight one another. They are armed, all right. They're very fierce against each other. There are men without self-worth attacking other men who get more attention than they are. That's how demons are. They're bitching and fighting around all the time. And that's why those overlords need to be protected. Because else they're tortured and beaten 24/7 by hundreds of billions of evil spirits. All right? So that's the situation of paranormal. So, believer, never ever think that the darkness around you is too big. As an individual human being with your mortal body, you can't do much. Your mortal body is very limited. If there are gangs going around with Kalashnikovs or you can say AK-47s, there's not much you with your individual body can do about it. But send peace ahead and shoot those energy missiles onto the strongholds into the sky above the city where you live and see how the cycle is broken. And when the cycle is broken, you will experience escalations in the criminal world. You'll see escalation in the government. Why? Because the stability, though the strength from the demons is not working anymore because you shut down the supply. So are there any questions about this still? Okay? I'm at my screen over there so I can read your questions. Christopher asks, can declaring invisibility in the name of Jesus Christ on a community keep the environment out of the sight of demons? Well, what it does is it causes a blurry vision on the demons for a little while, because eventually demons will see the community anyway, because there are also demon-possessed people in the community. But if you create invisibility on a small community, it can be effective. And that can give you a leverage as a believer to do the rest of the work. That means ministering to people, giving counseling to people, and all of that. So now we know how we shut down the evil on the earth. Now, there will be evil on the earth till Christ comes back. We know that, but it doesn't mean we have to sit back and just allow it to happen to us. Can you see how pathetic the paranormal is, saints? Can you see how pathetic the demons are? Can you see it? So I don't want to hear anyone using the term kingdom of darkness anymore. Don't. Yes, Becky, that's why sometimes even strangers attack without any reason. Some of the strangers are warlocks and they know what you're doing with your prayers. Others are not even very spiritual, but they feel like you're disturbing their ease. All right? Okay. Are there any more questions? I'm here for you. By the way, I don't know how many demons are floating around in the sky in the northeast of the United States. I don't know how many Nephilim are roaming around either in spirit form. I don't know. I just use those nuns as an example, just to show you how unstable the demonic realm really is. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Are there any more questions over here? And by the way, if you are a believer and you are good in visuals, in making 3D animation, or if you already have your film studio or you have your animation thing, you can make a better visualization of this than me, then please do so. Okay? If there are believers out there willing to make short movies displaying this to teach others, please do so. Oh, and by the way, those magnetic portals that pagans used to build in the past and some are around today, in the past they even built a house for a village for Satan. Pergamos, which was in ancient Greece, which today is located in the west of Turkey, it used to have this tiny village, which was the palace of Satan on the earth. Yes, those ancient Greeks built a whole palace village for Satan with fresh water supply to give fresh water to the torture victims who were over there. They had a whole village where they tortured little boys and grown men sexually on behalf of Satan. Yes, the Greeks did that. They built a whole temple village. The whole village was one big temple for Satan, and they kept an active client around there to torture and rape, just as Satan could move around freely. Is it weird that they gave they built a whole temple for Satan, who they saw as a father figure, yet had homeless people back then? Now, so now you know it. Satan has changed residence throughout Europe since the time the gospel broke out. There was even a time, I believe, you even resided at some building in Arnhem, the Netherlands, because you have a place that was nicknamed the Devil's House in Arnhem, the Netherlands. And the latest residence of Satan that's built by his followers is in England. It's in some forest surrounded by villages. So Satan's either floating in the sky or he's at that mansion in England right now. And that mansion is surrounded by villages where believers live. So Satan is our prisoner. I'm not going to show you the address. I'm not going to tell you the address of Satan's residence built by the Rothschild family, because it's not necessary. Leave that place alone. It's very creepy and it's closed by now. But so you know, Satan lives in England, quote unquote lives. In the past, they used to have temples and villas made for those other overlords. Praise the Lord for the influence of the gospel. Praise the Lord. Okay, Ismir wants advice concerning the Netherlands. What advice do you want concerning the Netherlands, Ismir? Let me know in live chat right away. Mm-hmm. I'll wait for your question, Ismail. What exactly do you want to have advice to the Netherlands? Okay, I think I understand what you want to know, Ismail. How can you deal with the Netherlands? Please target the Hague, please. Target the Hague with prayers. Target Arnhem, Nijmegen. Also target Hilversum. Okay? Target those places. Because those places are satanic centers in the Netherlands. Arnhem, Nijmegen, The Hague, Hilversum, which is actually named after the beast, but okay. That's where the media of the Netherlands is located. All target Amsterdam also, just in case. Target those key locations. And please, laugh off those evil spirits. Stop taking those demons too seriously. They are a joke. Please. Amsterdam is nicknamed XXX. XXX stands for Helios, the leader of the paranormal, Satan's Nephilim son, whom the Bible calls the Antichrist, or the son of perdition. And by the way, the Netherlands is not even a it's a very tiny location, and there aren't even mountains around here. Some say we have mountains in the province of Limburg, but those are just big hills. But okay, the Netherlands is a very tiny location. So if multiple believers or groups of believers out of the Netherlands would do this in a very fierce way, there's going to be a big meltdown amongst the devil worshippers. Okay. Christopher asks, Rashid, if we know there's a monster human running around, should we make decrees to keep the area they reside in safe? What you do is you decrease safety on the believers around and on the children around. You also decrease safety on the community in general. Now, your decrease of safety may not cover those that insist on the violence, the narcissistic crowds, okay? Because they're the ones that are the danger. When you're awake, it's more powerful, Kwa. Because when you're awake, you're actually active. In your dreams, you only receive messages. By the way, Kwa, did you download WhatsApp already? I don't receive any message from you, namely. Please download WhatsApp. Then we can fellowship at a later stage. For example, if you decree safety on a village, but there are child molesters over there, the decree of safety will not work well on the child molesters, because the child molesters are the danger. So if you decree safety on a village and there are child molesters over there, the child molesters are going to lose their mind. You get me? And then the child molesters may end up jumping in front of cars or screaming around. You think, whoa, what's going on here? So when you decree safety on a location, expect those that invest in evil to lose their mind. But when you lose your mind, that's a good thing, because then that means that the evil is hindered. Mm-hmm. This should be done in Chicago, the United States, for the Americans amongst me. Stop sending police officers or the military. Do this in Chicago. Yes, the Vatican or the Roman Catholic structure turned Chicago into a blood sacrifice center. Hey, we can reverse it. Okay. Chuba, are you still there amongst us in the live chat? Now you know, saints. We are in charge of how far evil and violence can go on the earth. We are, not the demons. So it's time for us to stop enabling the demons to oppress us. And by the way, can you all pray for the state of Kansas? That the demonic overload over there crashes, please. Can you guys all please send your missiles upon the overlord of the state of Kansas and all his legions, that everything crashes over there? Because there's a believer in there that they try to set up. The police try to set up this black believer that's also a follower of the channel. He has the police following him all the time. They tried at the flight school where he used to be, tried to crash his airplane without teaching him properly. They tried to crash him in an airplane, all of that. So please, command fire and missiles upon the overlord of the state of Kansas, that all may crash down upon them. Christ Jesus' mighty name. This is how we manage the earth. And this is how we become in charge of the economies and the social relationships of our communities. It's time for us to run the affairs of our communities, saints. Enough is enough. All right? Okay. That's it for now. Thanks for being here. Please put this in practice. And I'll see you next time. Agree with Christ. Be at peace.